gentlemen, boys and girls, it's that time.
Hell yeah!
Back down here in Porchville. How you doing?
Doing good, man.
Oh, that's Joe.
Joe is howling.
Because Joe does the howl.
Yeah.
You do the hell yeah.
I do the hell yeah.
And we got Allan and Gray here with us, hanging out. What's up? What's up, man?
Hello.
How you guys doing?
Living the life.
Hell yeah.
Friday night.
Well,
a 3-day weekend, too, which is awesome.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Welcome to Porchville. We're all over the place. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're on YouTube. I even signed up for Rumble. I signed up for Parler. That was short-lived. That was a day and a half. Did that. But, so yeah, we're all over those places. Like us, share us, subscribe us, comment, and let people know that let people know you love us. If you're sitting around hanging out with your friends and say, "Man, you heard of any good podcasts lately?" Yes, the Porchville fucking podcast. So we're hanging out, and we've been talking rock and roll, guitars, and Randy Rhoads in particular keeps coming up. I think you guys are fans a little bit. Is that safe to say?
Just a little bit.
A tad.
Yeah.
For a week or two now.
We even know how to spell his name.
Fucking asshole. Shit. So,
and if you don't know, it's on my shirt.
I did notice that shirt. I used to have that exact same one back in like 10th grade. I should have worn I should have worn a Randy shirt tonight, but I just didn't.
Well, I think it's safe to say we know who the real fan here is.
Exactly.
Then.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah. Let me show you what I did, Brent. Let me show you.
Well, wait. You see my screensaver on my phone?
Oh man,
see?
That is pretty.
So I got Randy on the phone and on me.
Randy on the shirt. Well, real quick for people listening who may not know who Randy Rhoads is, just a quick little overcap. He is a legendary guitarist. He's most famous for the first two Ozzy Osbourne solo albums. Kind of not only revived Ozzy's career after he was fired from Sabbath, but they really kind of took heavy metal and turned the page from the English dragons and castles and updated it. And a big part of that was the energy and the vibe and the intensity of Randy Rhoads. So that's who he is. And he, unfortunately... He's kind of a tragic figure because he passed away not far from where we sit this evening. He passed away down in right outside of Leesburg, Florida, in March of 1982 in a controversial plane crash. A lot of mystery surrounds that to this very day.
One of those mysteries is that you know a guy who knows a guy who's got a fucking cool story. Tell him about it.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Let's just rip the goddamn. Just go with it. Let's do it. We're in.
All right,
we're in.
So this is like a little graphic. So
be still your fucking hearts out there.
Clutch those pearls. So the story about the plane crash, and again, I'm just gonna. All right. So Randy was afraid of heights, afraid of flying. Okay. Well, they're on a tour. Touring for Diary of a Madman, coming from Knoxville, Tennessee, going down to Orlando, Florida. They're going to play this big Super Bowl with Foreigner, a big rock Super Bowl, a bunch of other bands. Today we call that a festival. Back then, I guess they weren't so particular on the Super Bowl copyrights. Yeah, but so they pull in the driver. The bus was rented out of this place in Leesburg. Guy named Jerry Calhoun owned an airport,
Flying Baron Estates.
That's it, Alan.
Jesus.
And
ding, ding, ding.
So it's early Saturday morning, March 19th, and the bus driver says to the guys, "Hey, I also am a pilot, and there's a little plane over here. You all want to go up for a ride?" And first, Randy's like, "Hell no." But the keyboard player, this guy named Don Airy, was like, "I'll do it." So Don Airy goes up, takes some photos up in the plane. They land. Everything's cool. So they go to Randy again. They said, "Hey, man, why don't you come on up?" And Randy's like, I don't know. And then their seamstress / cook / maid, lady named Rachel Youngblood, an older lady, had some heart issues. Though, like, well, listen, we're going to take Rachel up. She's got some heart issues. We're going to take it real easy. No games. So Randy's like, you know what? I'm in. Tragic, fatal mistake. So they're up, and what happens then is kind of where this whole conjecture comes in. Allegedly, the pilot was going to play a prank on Ozzy, who was still sleeping in the tour bus. This is like 8:30 in the morning. And would start buzzing the top of the bus. And on the third or fourth pass, he just misjudged in the wing, clips the bus, the plane goes through a tree and explodes into this mansion. So
I just want to say, I just think this should be noted that what a fucking time the 70s and 80s and rock and roll must have been, because you've got guys who are hanging out on a tour bus, Leesburg, Florida. Somebody's got a fucking plane. There's probably coke and pills and drugs and booze. This is a just recipe for disaster. But I honestly, I wish I could have been there for that shit. I mean, because you think about it, like Guns N' Roses back in the day, the early 80s on the Strip, like, man. That had to have been wild.
Yeah, now kids are just shoving pills in their face in their bedroom, making guitar videos for YouTube. It ain't the same.
And getting endorsements and
TikTok
record deals.
videos.
TikTok.
Anyway,
Twitch.
I just felt that should be noted. Like, what an interesting.
Well, it's funny you bring up cocaine because this dude, the guy's name was Andrew Aycock. He was the pilot, and he was doing cocaine all the way down from Knoxville. This crash happened. The house burst into flames. Tommy Aldridge, their drummer, actually took a huge bag of coke and threw it out into the woods before the cops showed up. Because hey, you're in the South back in the early '80s, and somebody's dead. And there's a bag of coke. Somebody's going to jail. So I got rid of that. So back, I'm going to circle back to what you were saying. So I went and I visited with a client a few years back. And he began to tell me how he's from Leesburg and grew up in Leesburg in the 1980s. And I'm in radio, right? So this guy was saying, oh, yeah, WRUF. I used to go up there for Rock 104. And so we're shooting the shit. Eventually I say to him, hey, listen, I have to ask. You're talking about you're from Leesburg. You're into rock music. One of the biggest events in rock history occurred, and he cut me off. He goes, the Randy Rhoads plane crash. I was like, that's exactly right. And I was starting to make small talk. He goes, he cuts me off. He goes, I saw the body.
Holy shit.
And I was like, you have my complete and undivided attention. What? And the story goes, it was such a small town. This guy went to the high school back in Leesburg. There's only 3 funeral homes in the entire town. It was so tiny back then. It's tiny now. By coincidence, his friend's dad owned one of the 3.
Oh, man.
So you see where it's going, right? 33% chance. And sure enough, the remains of Randy Rhoads entered this funeral home. And this guy I was talking to, was like, I mean, what do you say when somebody says, do you want to see the body?
I mean,
you're like a teenager.
I don't know, man.
Well,
like
If it was a burnt body.
If it was me, I'm a little squeamish.
Well, this guy said yes. So he went and he saw it, and he described it. Fast forward, you don't want to hear it. He said it was really unrecognizable except for some ribs. He said that said it reminded him of something you'd find like inside of a grill. It was all charred, and it was very small. And yeah,
fuck.
What a way to go! And by all accounts, Randy was a student of his instrument. His mom owned a music place out in...
What's the name of it? Do you know?
Musonia.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's in Burbank, California. And he grew up 6 years old playing in orchestras and stuff, playing his little... There's black and white photos. All these guys with their French horns, and there's little Randy with this big guitar strumming away. So he was classically trained. He was all about music, not so much into the party scene. And of all the people, you got Ozzy fucking Osbourne, who has done more drugs than the country of Bolivia. And he's still going. He's still putting shit out. But young Randy, just a legend.
Allan Gray, just so you know, we usually do not start the show this dark.
Yeah, it's kind of a sad topic for sure. But
oh, man. Well, tell me about your guys' band. What's the name of it?
Nibiru. like the mysterious Planet X.
Nibiru.
Didn't it like collide with Earth in some sort of legend?
There's a million theories about it or whatever, but technically I don't think it would have collided, because if it would have collided, it would be just a bunch of asteroids. But it all in theory, of course, and it's not that I'm a card carrying Nibiru believer or anything, but it's supposed to come through the solar system every 36,000 years or whatever, and its gravitational pull just fucks everything up and spins the Earth over and this and that.
Is it due anytime soon? I hope not.
I mean,
because
within the minute.
Jesus Christ!
I think it was supposed to happen.
That's the last fucking thing we
2012.
need.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where they can't actually find it. Needle in a haystack, of course.
Right.
But they're like, oh, it's coming from the other side of the sun, so you can't see it. And I'm like, well, we go around the sun, so I mean, it's like eventually we would be able to see it, right? But unless you believe the Earth is flat, which we'll get into that later.
But I got to say, that's a badass name for a band.
That's cool. I mean,
That's really cool.
I can't say that I'd heard anybody else with the name around here, but after we started and stuff, of course, found some in Europe. I think there's one from Russia called Nibiru that is a metalish band or whatever, but I haven't seen anything by them in a few years, so they may not even be active anymore. And I think there is probably one or two other ones. I mean, if anybody's ever watched Star Trek or something, they have the Nibiru planet in Star Trek, even though it's not really the same. It's just they use the name, so some people are like, oh, that's cool. They had Praxis in the Star Trek stuff too, and that's a couple bands are called Praxis. So
We managed to avoid any duplicates for a long time with Hollow Days, and only 5-6 years ago there was a band over in Europe somewhere that popped up with the same name. So
They suck.
yeah, totally losers.
yeah, even the band that Gray and I were in for a long time called Dopamine. There was a Dopamine in England, and we spelled ours the metal way, and they spelled theirs the normal way, and they were nothing alike or whatever.
Yeah.
They were kind of pop punk or something, and we were anything but that. And figured it wasn't ever going to cause a problem. They go, oh, this isn't the Dopamine I thought it was, but.
Dopamine was a big fucking deal.
Oh yeah, dude.
Dopamine was huge, man. I used to
around
hear
here.
as a kid who moved to Gainesville in 2000. I mean, man, there was always people talking about what you guys had going on, and
So I got into playing shows here locally and getting into the local scene. I remember playing a show with you guys back at Brick City Music.
Oh, wow.
Back in the the late '90s and shit.
That was probably one of the Mo Rodriguez festivals.
I believe
MoFest.
Mo
I remember that shit.
Yep. And I remember you guys were in my humble opinion, kind of at the top of the heap. And then you all remember Mavis?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mavis, they were fucking good. There was a few really good metal bands right here in our backyard.
Well, and I just know that every time you guys would do something after you guys split up or whatever, that it was always a big event.
Right.
That I know that's a pretty good way of figuring out who's who around. So.
Well, and the cool thing is with that band, everybody's still good friends.
Yeah.
I mean, I work with the singer for the band, and the other guitar player, Chris, still is one of my best friends.
Yeah.
And Katie, our bass player, he's kind of reclusive right now, but we're still all really good friends. There was never any bad blood it kind of ran its course. We did it for a dozen years or so, and
Yeah. That's how it goes.
yeah, it was fun while it lasted, and then it was time
Any
to do other stuff.
anything in the future? You guys talk about it at all? I mean, you got to talk about it. I think we were talking about it today. I threw a little we should do kind of thing out there.
Yeah, a couple years ago or a year and a half ago, we played 2 or 3 songs at a show just because everybody was going to be there.
Yeah.
And it was pretty much the limit of what we could remember to do anyway. I mean, it's not like we wrote any of the stuff down or anything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like we'd have to sit there, and it would probably take 2 years to remember a set worth of songs.
You think?
Even if we could still play.
I bet you it comes back a lot faster than that.
It might. Heck, I actually listened to some recordings from another band I was in the other day that I hadn't heard in shit, a dozen years, and I don't even recall the songs. I'm like,
That's like a nice little
I'm like,
present. to buy.
that's me. I don't
guys are
remember
good.
this at all, you know. But
We didn't play together for 4 years or 3 years, and our drummer came back from Texas for a brief period, and we sat down, no practice, no nothing, and just we played everything with exception, few exceptions.
Nah, we got it down. To be fair, your material is far more technical and progressive than our shit. Let me ask you guys, because like Nick is talking about, we've known each other 20 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So we talk, and we stopped playing together like 2 or 3 years ago.
5. Well, after the end, I forget about that, but Hollow Days was 5 years.
There's not a lot of musicians who have played together for such an extended period of time. You guys got us beat, and you're one of the only pairs. So I want to find out, how did you all meet each other? How did you connect? How did you find out that you were both into music? Now, if it was at a gay orgy, you don't got to share that.
Well, the first time
I want every single detail.
The first time I met Al, I was in a small a cover band, and we were playing at the Hog's Breath Saloon on 13th Street, and we had just got done doing Creeping Death by Metallica.
Nice.
We were trying to do it, halfway decent and right, and so it was approximately the right tempo, and so Al was out in the audience, 17 years old or
17, yeah, in the bar.
yeah. And
The good old days.
I asked him, I was like, well, what'd you think of the song there, Creeping Death? How'd you like it? He was like, he said it was pretty good, but I would have played it a lot faster. I was like, who is this guy?
Shit, we started playing. We met. That was probably 87 or 88 when we met.
You know how old I was in those years?
4?
No, not even.
Not
Half
even
that. Divide that by 2.
Dang. Well, we're
You guys are old as fuck.
yes, we
Yes.
I was 7 in 87.
are. Wow.
7 years old. You were like 9 or 10.
I was 13. No, I was 9. I was 9.
Yeah.
7, yeah.
Actually, I guess it was 88 because I was with my future wife at the time. So
What, Gray?
no.
Now the story gets really weird.
No, that kind of
And
stuff
that's
wasn't.
where it all began.
It wasn't
ladies
legal
and
back
gentlemen.
then for those kind of marriages,
So how long have you guys been playing together?
Since 96.
96.
Pretty much without stopping.
Yeah.
We've had different bands and different projects, but the constant through all of it has been him and I since then. Just, even if we didn't have anything, we'd still get together and smoke out and jam and be like, all right, we'll see you next time. 'Cause
Yeah.
we got nothing else to do.
I loved it when we got that warehouse several years back, and I looked across and I saw you guys. I was like, hey, what's up?
We're in good company.
And I will say this: every time we were out there, you guys were out there, so I know you put it in.
Oh, yeah. We used to go 3 nights a week for Dopamine, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Friday was always like, just we'll see who shows up and how fucked up everybody is. And sometimes we just jam or play hacky sack. That's how we stayed skinny back in the day. We'd move all the amps out and just play hacky sack inside and smoke weed and listen to music. But, the warehouse thing is just the way it goes. And we put in the time just to... because we don't really know what else to do either,
Yeah.
It's like be sitting home Monday night going, fuck, I don't what else can I go do? I've been going to band practice for 20 plus years on Monday night, so it's like the only thing I want to do is go play,
Yeah.
and thankfully he's more or less the same way. So
How's that warehouse treating you, by the way?
Great.
oh yeah, we like it.
Yep.
We have room to move around.
So now, what was the story with that place? There was a guy who lived there
Yeah.
before, because it became vacant when we rented it because he died.
Right.
So, who was he? First off,
Carol Young was
Carol
his name.
Young.
There he is. He's immortalized. And he was, we never sat down. I never sat down and had a conversation with him because he was one of those guys who is looking over that way but talking to you.
Yeah.
So how you doing? But he would play. We don't know what kind of setup he had, but he had some kind of keyboard with the rhythm settings and some looping stuff, and he'd sit in there and basically do his own one-man show for hours, loud as hell, with the door shut, and it was weird, and we could hear him getting better though
he was
over
getting
the
better as he went.
years.
Yep.
And he'd like do monologues between songs or over songs where you couldn't understand what he's saying, but just weird guy, but he had 2 warehouses out there, I guess.
Really?
One that he kind of stayed in, which was y'all's ours now, but and then another one, I guess, just had stuff in it. You know? But yeah, it was sad though that all alone, and when he passed, it was a day or 2 before he was found.
That sucks.
And the manager out there smelled him.
That's horrible.
Yeah, it's terrible.
We were always very respectful when we had that place. I think for a second we called it like Youngstown or something.
Yeah, we were going to paint it over the door.
Oh, that would have been
Youngstown.
Cool. That's a
Yeah.
good idea. We should do that.
Yeah.
We and we kept up a lot of his stuff. Like we knew that like his spirit was there, and we didn't take that lightly.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad because you can almost go, well, shit, that could be me, and now like a couple years, but. I mean, you got to respect for somebody that's got to, get up every day, even if they're in that kind of situation, and still, play his ass off. As soon as the sun go down, he'd crank it up and loud. Like I said, I mean, sometimes we could hear him over us playing. If we had the door open or something, be like,
Jesus.
"What the hell is that?
What kind of sound system did he have in there?
I don't know, but it's sad too because we didn't know his name until after he died.
Yeah.
Because I had to ask. I was like, well, what's his name? So we, remember who he is, because obviously nobody else probably really will. But,
Yeah.
Well, all those stickers up in there, like Master P and CCR and all that, just very eclectic. Ted Nugent, that's all him. Yeah. That's not us. He put all that shit up there. We just
Wow.
left it, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool because we added a couple to it, and I think like.
But the rapper with his eyes poked out, remember that? Hell, I remember coming in and seeing that. I was like, oh, there's some things going on in here.
Yeah, that's cool, and it's cool to mention him too, because we did something similar to that last week, where I knew a guy who passed away years ago, and he's just kind of a hero to me as a kid, and so yeah, it's cool. We're helping keep him alive, man.
As the old saying goes, you die 2 times. When you die, and then the last time someone mentions your name.
Yeah.
So Randy Rhoads, back to our buddy
Randy Rhoads.
Randy.
Hey, what was? Let's do an easy one. All right,
You got
I
a
got
trivia?
question. I got
Get outta
something for
here.
you. You ready? I went to.
Wait, where's the red button that I got to hit for the answer?
No, I know.
I went to.
Can I get the Staples button where I just get the easy one?
Right.
I went to his Wikipedia page, and I figured I'll ask a few questions of things that I see. Like, for instance, what type of amplifier did he prefer?
Marshall.
Yeah, and a modified. No, Nick, I see you shaking your head. If you're gonna say Peavy, that's when he was with Quiet Riot.
I'm not going to say Peavy. I'm not going to say Peavy.
He did have a Supro.
But I mean,
and he had a pig nose when he was just getting.
There's a lot of things like 100-watt Marshall model.
That's it. The white, yeah, and he got those modified in England.
Damn it, I couldn't tell you the model or anything, but
Well, they're modded anyway.
right.
Yeah. Okay. What about
Nick, hold on. Before you go any further, you realize that you're asking Joe Herschel trivia.
Yeah, I know. But I figure I'm going to take a chance. Do you know what his preferred pickups were?
Seymour Duncan.
Fuck.
Dan, did you just out Joe Herschel? Joe Herschel?
Which I don't even like Seymour Duncan, but
Well, let me just say.
And he used GHS strings, if that's going to be your next question. And
Hang on, I got that.
Fender medium
Fender
pick.
medium picks, exactly.
Yes. We know this shit.
GHS boomers. Yeah, Seymour Duncan distortion jazz model on Jackson's stock pickups on.
The Gibson Les Paul Custom.
Do you know what year that was?
Yes, I do. And
80.
Randy did not.
What year is it?
So Randy, in interviews, identified it as a 1964. In his August 81 interview with John Styx, that's what he called it. But they did not make that model in 1964. This has actually been identified as one that came from 1973 or 4. They haven't quite pinned it down.
Nice.
The Wikipedia has it as 74.
Okay.
Gibson Les Paul Custom Alpine White.
That's the Joe Herschel I know. I knew you were going to come through with something outlandish.
They didn't even
That
make
is
Les Pauls in
amazing.
'64.
That's right. But you know, back in like 1980 or whatever, Randy probably didn't know that. Somebody
Right.
probably told him that, and he was like, okay.
Right.
All right.
Come on, Nick.
Oh, jeez, man.
Dig in. Hit us with that fastball.
All right. What? Shit. This is harder to come up with the questions. Talk amongst yourselves for a moment. What did you bring? You brought
All
the
right,
Randy
yeah,
Rhoads
I
book.
did. So,
Let's talk about the book.
All right, so
Give me a minute. I'll find some more fucking questions.
and Alan, I actually brought this to let you borrow, not to
Yeah,
have,
please. Yeah, 'cause I haven't seen
but
that.
to borrow. So check it out. That's a book called Crazy Train: The Life and Times of Randy Rhoads. That was put out about 4 or 5 years ago. It is very good. The only mistake I found in the book is
You found a fucking mistake in the book? Are you kidding me?
well, it's actually on the back of the book.
Jesus Christ.
So their publisher wrote that recap, and it said that Randy was 26 when he died. Of course, we all know he was 25. But the actual contents of the book are on point. A lot of cool interviews.
Hell yeah.
It's good stuff, man. You will enjoy it.
Yeah, I'll definitely
Take
read
your
that.
time with it.
were you when you were reading
Say
the whole
Forward
thing? Were
by
you
Yngwie
looking?
Malmsteen.
Were you looking for mistakes?
No, but I know. Like if somebody prints something wrong, I know it. Baseball and guitar, I'm probably gonna catch it. You can't fuck up, man.
Well, do we want to play a song here, man? You brought a song.
Yeah,
You
I
wanna
brought you. I
talk
brought
about
you
it?
2 songs, and you can play the one I brought for Joe first. Just
Okay.
since we're all talking about Randy Rhoads.
All right.
But yeah, it's a.
Tell me about it. What do pretend I know nothing about Randy Rhoads.
Pretend like you're talking to me.
Well, it's the next to the last song on Diary of a Madman called SATO, which don't know exactly what it means. I've heard different things, but basically I think it stands for sailing across the ocean because that's in the lyrics and stuff.
Yeah.
But
You got an opinion on the SATO?
The competing theory is
Sharon Arden, Thelma Osborne. Yeah, that's the other one.
That was his wife at the time, and then his future wife. Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay.
But I got Gray. Gray did one and only take on the drums.
All right.
And
Okay.
and saved it vocally too, because I don't sound anything like Ozzy, but we got it through.
Sound like you might have a lower register.
Yeah, maybe a little bit rougher, but I think it came out pretty good. Just for what it was, and I double tracked the solo too. So when you hear the solo, it is completely double tracked, one take. There's no
guys in your
there's no
double-track
punching
solos.
in or overdubs. It's
Jesus.
just I did it twice.
You know how many double track solos I've had to sit through with this guy over here in my fucking life?
That's the only one I did because the other ones are pretty much improvised. But that one I learned, as note for note as I could, and like I said, it's double tracked.
Awesome.
Well, I'm gonna hit play here. Bear with me because I don't know what the volume's gonna be. So
Can't be too loud.
yeah, well that's true. Here we go.
I scoot over? Not closer.
Oh, I was gonna say, come on over, man.
Ray, you got some lungs. That sounds
Fuck
good.
yeah, bro.
And that was one take on his vocals as well.
That's cool. as
Oh
shit.
man,
Yeah, you heard it here first.
Fuck.
Because honestly, I don't know if we can put it on our album that we're doing because
Man.
licensing and royalties and all that shit. Not like we'd end up having to pay them because we're not going to make any money. But there's actually not going to be enough room on a CD for that. We have that much.
Well, you know
music,
what?
so
You know what? The good thing is, then just put that fucking thing on YouTube.
That's pretty much what I was going to do.
Because I don't. I think the laws are a lot more lax as far as playing other people's stuff.
Right.
If you just put it out on YouTube, you're not
and
making
it's
any
not
money.
their version, so
Right.
it's our own. But yeah, I was
loved
thinking
it, man. That
make a
sounds
stupid
fucking
video like on
awesome.
the beach, or something,
Oh, that'd be great.
wearing flip flops and a Hawaiian
Yes.
shirt or something.
Yes.
Was that KD on bass?
No, it's Hayes, the Nibiru bass player.
Well, he was earning his money because that's a fucking line.
That
right
sounds
there.
good.
Yeah, and he actually learned the song just to record it. We never played it before, actually, I don't even know if he really even knew we were going to do it.
Ha.
Because
He got it.
it was a spur of the moment thing. Like I said, he did it one take on the drums, and we never even really rehearsed it. But he had played it in another band, so I knew he knew it, and it came out really well.
Yeah, it did. And that solo note for note. We were talking earlier before the show started about those whammy bar dives in the third verse.
Yeah.
That was on point.
That shit is
Good
hard
stuff.
for my brain to comprehend. Like
What?
how you get those kind of sounds out of a fucking guitar.
Well,
like I just it blows me
Practice.
away. Well, let me tell you, I have practiced a bit and suck.
Well, those little things were just harmonics, so that should be
Yeah.
something. It's the whammy, getting it all in time is the hardest part because all that is going through the rhythms. Like there's no just punching in a whammy bar. It was
Right.
and the way we recorded it too, like the engineer kind of hated doing punch-ins because it's a lot of cleaning up tracks
Yeah.
later. So everything that I played, I can't say it was just one take, but it's whole
Right.
things, So it's like if I fuck up right at the end, I'm like, well, I guess I got to do it all over again, But it didn't take all that long, but I made sure all that shit was in there, and I even had the tab book just in case I was like, all of a sudden go, oh my god, I can't remember that chord. I'm like, all right, there it is, right there.
That shit was cool.
When'd you
man.
pick up a guitar the first time?
I was like 7 or 8,
Yeah. Did you
Yeah.
just know right from that moment?
pretty much. I
gotta
seeked it out.
interject with that question because this is something that I was actually thinking about. Is like what actually got you into like doing like metal? Like what got you into that?
Oh man.
Because
Well,
like I'm looking at like you're wearing a Slayer jacket right now, and I remember like when I was younger and I heard Slayer for the first time, and I was like, holy shit, this music is like the real deal. Like this is awesome. Like what was your moment like where you noticed like we were just like, yep, this is the direction I'm gonna go.
I don't know if it ever I set out to be metal. It's just I always like to hear more and more guitar, and metal had more guitar. Like the first time I picked up the guitar, the first night I had it in my room, I picked out a vocal melody that was on the radio, like a Kenny Rogers song or something, back in just when AM was.
That's a pretty
basically
good
all-
transition, Kenny Rogers.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So you can say he's my number one influence, but no, really. I played piano before that because my grandmother was a piano teacher, and so it was,
I always say anybody who has a foundation in piano it's just.
I wish I
next
had
level
a
shit.
better foundation. That's
Yeah.
for sure. Because being kid, I didn't want to sit there and practice
Of course,
the piano or
of
whatever.
course.
Didn't think it was cool, and wanted to play the drums, and that was definitely not going to happen. And so I wanted a guitar, and my dad borrowed one from somebody who worked for him for a little while to see if it took.
Yeah.
Which probably was a good idea, because I've bought instruments for people and for my stepkids and son and stuff, and hadn't really taken the way you'd want it to.
Yeah.
But he borrowed it for a while. I played it, took a little bit of lessons, and then it was probably another year before I got my own guitar. And then that was it.
It was on.
And then I think I was 12 when I got my first electric, and got an electric guitar for my birthday, and then a little Dean Markley practice amp with an orange Boss distortion pedal for Christmas.
Nice.
What's that, baby?
That's all you
Let it
need,
fly.
man.
And that little amp, 10 watt, 15 watt, would power a 412 cabinet.
No shit.
And I was like, this is awesome. But started playing in bands when I was about 14, 15, and haven't stopped since.
What about you, Gray? Because like something like this, you can borrow a buddy's guitar, bring it home to your son, see if it's going to take.
Right.
Drums are something different.
Right.
How the fuck did you? How'd you make that happen?
I just had
Pots and pans and some fucking tongs and shit.
I never was much on the pots and pans. I had some bongos, so I guess I was like a beatnik or something. But but I had my mom had friends that had drum sets, and that would let me play, and I knew I liked it a lot, and just got one of the said friends' drum sets for Christmas, and never looked back. Had a good band director in high school. And I just, I've loved music for a long time, so.
How old were you when you got that kit?
Oh, I was 12 years old. Yeah.
I wanted to play drums first.
Yeah.
I think that maybe people who are interested in music, there's something attractive about the drums,
Oh, I wanted to
heard
play
that
the
a lot.
drums so bad,
Yeah.
but for some reason my parents didn't want me to have a drum set.
Well, and that's what happens. That's what happens is that because everybody knows the drummer jokes. You know the drummer jokes, Gray.
Mm-hmm.
You know them all.
Sure,
So,
sure.
so I mean, that's what happens. It's because the people that get the drum sets, they just play until they just drive everybody around them fucking crazy.
And I gotta say, I think there is something different about drummers. When you think about what you do, you are taking something and you are physically beating it, and you're doing it in a certain rhythm with certain dynamics. And I do feel that as humans we're wired different, and people who are real drummers, I don't know. I think
It's a different animal.
a different animal.
Different animal.
My hands hurt.
It's drummers, man. It's drummers.
And it's just the brain capacity to think about four limbs moving.
Man.
and you still got to breathe, and in his case he's got to fucking sing too, so it's like it's amazing sometimes some of the stuff he's playing and then singing on top of it.
Yeah.
Walking, chewing gum,
And then breathing.
and breathing,
Taking a breath every
just
once
staying
in a while,
alive.
Yeah.
So we know,
I have a hard time completing a sentence.
This is true. I've had to finish many for him.
So I was gonna say, we know Allan likes Randy Rhoads,
And he had to carry me
Slayer.
through it.
Who are your guys? Who are your bands?
Oh, I don't know. I'd say one of the very first was Zappa.
Nice.
10 years old, and
That's
was
Frank
listening to-
Zappa for the.
Listening to Joe's Garage at 9
Not
and 10
Dweezil.
years old. I love that shit.
Yeah.
Vinny Colaiuta on the drums, one of the best drummers in the world.
Terry Bozzio.
Yeah, so that was my main guy first coming up, and then I liked all the 80s metal and all that kind of stuff too. So
Gray was the only drummer, non-guitar player I knew that had all the Shrapnel records. About Shrapnel label. It had like Paul Gilbert and Jason Becker and
Yeah.
Cacophony and
Cacophony.
Blue Saraceno, Tony McCall. Well, I don't know if Tony
I'm not gonna
McAlpine
lie.
was
I'm out of my
Shrapnel.
depth. I have no idea what you're
Like
talking
all the
about.
'80s shredders,
neoclassical
but they had
metal.
ridiculous drumming.
Right.
They were great drums to match all these crazy arpeggios and stuff. And he had like every tape. I was like, okay, you're a drummer and you got all these guitar player tapes.
Remember
But-
opening all the guitar magazines and it'd be like a full page ad, and you would see Dragon's Kiss by Marty Friedman,
Yeah.
and Perpetual Burn by Jason Becker, all these amazing albums.
The Mike Varney people.
Yes,
Right.
Yeah.
exactly.
That's some good stuff.
Joe, how do you have so much storage space in your brain for like all of these?
He doesn't smoke weed.
Hey, y'all want to see how big my head is? Watch this.
Whoa!
Damn, hang on, let me step back. I gotta step back.
Cut all his fucking hair off.
Where does your hair go?
He looks like I did fucking
He's trying to look
2
like
years ago.
cool people
2
that are
years
bald.
ago. Jesus Christ!
Actually, that's funny. I have more hair than you do. 'Cause look,
You took the plunge.
Oh, now we're doing that.
Yeah,
Now
I
we're
have
doing
more
hair
hair than Joe Herschel does.
Got the Lou Grant going there.
This is why there's a reason this is weird because I have more hair.
Than both of us.
That's
Well, it's
you
some
long
spots.
hair hippie.
I
You have more hair in some spots.
in some spots, yeah. I shaved my head for like a decade, you know.
So let
I
me tell
hate
you,
it.
yeah. This is coming back. So I am cheap. That's one thing about me. And so I thought to myself, I spend so much money on haircuts. Okay.
Oh Jesus!
Every time I go to
Christ.
Sports Clips, it's $25 a pop, and I like
$25
because you got to tip the girl.
At sports
Wow.
clips?
You got to tip the girl.
Fuck.
Then I take my son, and if I want to go twice a month, you're like $1,000 a year for real.
Holy crap.
Exactly.
Wait, you're going twice a month?
I was because I like it really tight.
Matt has a mullet.
He
right
just lets
now,
it flow
So
until Mandy comes over
yeah,
and starts
yeah.
carving away.
Yeah, well, it started over here.
yeah.
But then a weird guy came out of the shadows one time when I was walking to when I was gonna go get a pipe.
Tell this story.
And then he told me, or he asked me, he was like, "Hey man, you want a free haircut?" And I'm just like, what?
Yeah, that's a pretty random question.
And he was like, "Yeah, man, we're giving away free haircuts." And I'm just like, you know what? Why the fuck not? Like, what else can?
So you went
Yeah.
for a free random haircut.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. And
Was it an actual shop, or was it just like you sat down on a brick on the side of the road?
it was actually a pretty legit shop. I mean, like, I guess it's like a school or something like that. And they just decided that day they were giving out free haircuts. And I just so
Okay.
happened to be walking by, and there was like,
You
Ask me
you
if I
live
want
a
a free haircut.
charmed life, sir. I don't know quite what else to say about that. The wildest shit happens to you sometimes.
Yeah, it's weird.
I never quite
Yeah.
know.
yeah, but his name is Streets the Barber.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he did a good job. He actually
Shout
gave
out
me
the
like
streets.
he gave me like the full like head shampoo and massage and everything, and it was actually a very pleasant time.
Okay.
Well,
it's getting weird.
I do
Did
not
you
go to
black
Streets
out
the
for a
Barber.
while
Right.
and wake up in a
Feel
dark
anything
alley?
poking you in the back or anything?
The fuck?
Missing a kidney.
I was expecting that, but it didn't happen. No, but
Disappointed.
Streets ain't like that.
So I got a haircut, walked around the corner, bought myself a pipe, smoked some weed, and I had a good day.
Matt, I mean,
I make really good decisions.
Yeah.
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 It's a good day to get out of bed.
Yeah.
I haven't had to pay somebody to cut my hair, and because I shave it for close to 20 years now.
You should hit up streets.
Scary.
You should hit up streets. The barber.
Just go wander around the woods.
Right.
He'll come to you.
Let it grow for 8 months, and
Like
then
the ghost of Christmas past.
I can't
coming up
stand
on
it
you.
whenever like I drive with my windows down because of smoke. And if I can like feel my hair moving in the wind or whatever, I'm like, oh, I gotta fucking shave. I can't stand it. It like just tickles me or whatever. But
I stopped doing it. I went on a vacation
what's that?
and took my camper up to Pennsylvania with the wife and kids.
Where at? In Pennsylvania.
Right outside of Philadelphia. Her family lives in Lansdale, Pennsylvania.
I have no idea where that
So-
is. I was just trying to be nice. No, I mean that's where my fiance is from. Is Pennsylvania.
Nobody even cares where that is.
Right, exactly. But it sounds like a nice vacation destination.
Oh, it was great. It was great. We were in the woods. It was wonderful.
You see
but,
streets?
did not see streets. Didn't see streets. But I just decided, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to shave my head while I'm here in the fucking woods. It's kind
Right,
of an
yeah.
inconvenience. And after, God, how long? I mean, like 15 years of doing it, I was just like, okay, I'm not going to do it anymore.
So the way I got bald is I bought this thing so Lauren can cut my hair. She always does a great job, except this last time, and it's my fault. I got aggressive and I said, "Oh, take it higher, take it higher." And eventually, she reached the point of no return, and I was like, "Well."
Dude, you didn't go with the mohawk?
I did. I walked out to scare my kids, and I had a mohawk about half an inch thick, and I didn't say anything. I just like went into the kitchen to get like a drink of water, and my son's like looking at me. He's like, "Dad, you're gonna shave that, right, Dad?" But I did for a split second. I did have an itty bitty mohawk, but now it'll grow back in a few weeks. Some people look dapper and charming when they are bald. I'm not one of these guys.
Joe, I was going to say, it's funny because I've seen you did that once before, and, I remember you not being happy, and Lauren was not thrilled.
Lauren is still not.
But it
thrilled.
actually looks great. It looks fine.
Well, thank you,
It looks
Nick.
fine. I know what you're talking about.
My wife feels that I look like a skinhead and asked me how the raid on the Capitol went. And all. Oh yeah,
The stereotypes are true.
I'm getting all the heat, buddy.
Yeah. I know that feeling.
Yeah, one time back in Dopamine days, our singer was bald, I was bald, our other guitar player was bald, and we were playing in like Lake City and stuff. People were like, y'all in the white power?
Oh, man.
No. In fact, it bothered our other guitar player so much he grew his hair out. He goes, I don't care if I'm 3/4 bald. I'm never going to,
Yeah.
just it bothered him because that's one thing we're definitely not.
Yeah.
No,
I don't mind it now. When I started shaving it was because I was 26 when I started noticing it thinning and whatnot, and I was like, man, we're here in the band and trying to make a go of this. I gotta look the part. And
Yeah.
so I can't be a balding front man. So I shaved it and just kept that up for years.
Yeah, I think you can thank Rob Halford for that.
Yeah.
He was like the first bald front man that I remember in metal, because everything, metal was all about the long hair and the leather jacket.
You had to have the long hair.
Wait, you don't have any hair? You can't be a metalhead?
Yeah. Unfortunately, when I did have long hair, I
Nick-
looked like Scott Stapp, though, too. So that was,
Well, then you
was
made
a
a
problem.
smart choice.
that was a problem.
Well, no, I mean, like, who
what?
who didn't like Creed for about 30 seconds?
I mean, I did.
like Creed.
I'll still put on a Creed song and jam out.
What if?
That's probably the
That's
best
a
song.
badass song.
That's probably
I
the
dig
Yeah,
best
that
we,
song.
we used to
played
cover
that.
that. Yeah.
I dig that jam.
Alan, that little harmonic he does.
Yeah,
that's
it was a good song.
Tremonti's
Tremonti's a good guitar
fucking
player
amazing.
for
I love
sure.
him.
It's just, they were. I didn't like him the way his voice sounded.
Yeah.
Like made the word one like 3 syllables. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
I am gonna blow your mind, and that's all I'm gonna.
Oh, damn. Save that for the other podcast.
Yeah.
What if you live?
if y'all-
What if you died?
Yo, streets, bring it in. So if you just want to be like, holy shit, Scott Stapp, and I can't believe I'm about to say these words. He put out a video last year of some new solo song.
Oh yeah,
It is badass.
Yeah, it's pretty
No,
good shit.
just straight up, unironic. It is fucking cool.
Yep.
So, take it for
Speaking of
what
cool
it's worth.
jams, you want to do this other one?
Sure.
Tell me about it.
This one's called One More, which we had the music kicking around for, probably 2 years because we're really slow at finishing songs, but never had lyrics that worked. So, I mean, when we recorded it, I knew that I was going to write the words for it or whatever, and kind of had the subject matter, and it's about basically being hooked on pills, and, you start, you're the downward slide to where you ended up killing somebody for the pills, and then you end up dying over the pills and losing everything kind of stuff. But one night I sat at home and just put the song on repeat and wrote out the words and just went over and over it, and by the time I was done with it, I was pretty excited, and so I called the engineer. I'm like, hey, can I come record this tomorrow? And I said, I think it's good, and so I went and did it the next day, and basically it's just a couple takes, and I mean it's it's cool. It's a lot. I can't do it live just yet, but you know, with the help of some backup vocals and practice, hopefully we'll get it. But you know, it's a cool song, and lyrically, it actually tells like kind of a story, which I'm a newbie at writing lyrics, you should say. So I mean,
Yeah.
and having to sing them. So I mean, it's cool. I think it came out pretty good. But it's called One More.
All right.
Nobody's heard it.
It's the debut. You
Yeah,
ready?
Pretty much, yeah.
Here we go.
Do it.
The agony now
Woo!
I am fucking sold. Like, how do I buy that album?
Fuck!
Right now.
We got to finish
wanna,
it first.
I want to buy it right
Jesus
now.
Christ, that makes me want to run like
Hell yeah.
a fucking mile with like
Run the
a
tank.
sword or some shit. I don't even know why, but fuck.
I want to
That's
fight.
hot, man. I like
wanna,
that.
I'm glad
I want
you
to
guys like it.
fight somebody that's slightly smaller than I am.
I'm just glad y'all just didn't go, all right, well, moving on. You know,
Damn.
I'm glad y'all like it.
No, dude, that was fucking sick.
I'll be honest, man. I did not find my way into a lot of metal as a kid because it just wasn't ever really made available to me. I didn't know much about it. I was raised on a lot of Skinner and stuff like that,
Right.
which was great. But I listened to like the solos and shit like that you were doing there, and it's fucking intoxicating. Like it's very mesmerizing. It's like, man, I wish I would have heard some of that shit a little bit more when I was younger.
Right.
It just might have been a little bit more influential.
I got to
It's
ask,
wild.
like, was Lamb of God any kind of like inspiration on that one? Because it sounded a little bit Lamb of God.
I wouldn't say they're inspiration as much as it's just coincidence.
Yeah.
Because, technically, I think I've been playing this way longer than Lamb of God has been. So, just not to the notoriety that they have had.
But
You guys probably have similar influences.
yeah, it's just riffs,
dude, that song was so raw, just so sick, and it was like, man, I loved every second of that song. Like
was
the
good.
beat, the rhythm, everything was so good, and it was so instrumental, and like the lyrics just fit in perfect. That, man, I like that. I
I'm
am
glad you like
sold.
it. The
am
lyrics
completely
definitely
So I know
made it a different song.
I know Joe is a bit of a connoisseur
Thank you.
of metal. So, what did you think, Joe?
So obviously, I liked it a lot. Some of the things that jumped out at me was the time signatures and the breaks. To me, I wonder, like, if I was describing you guys to somebody, and they're like, "Well, what do they sound like?" The two bands, and obviously, I know you've been playing longer than the second one I'm about to mention, but the two bands that kind of jump out at me, number one is Meshuggah, because some of those breaks, to me, are similar. You can find it like that. And then vocally, Mastodon, especially with the two vocals.
Oh, Mastodon. I think,
Should we tell them the name of the working title for the song?
Go ahead.
It was called Master Donny Osmond. For whatever reason, just us being stoned and stupid. But the chorus part definitely kind of had a Mastodon feel, which, we've been around longer than them as well, too, as far as me and him playing together. But they're awesome.
Fuck yes.
And they're really creative, and I love their chord progressions and the way they're. I'm the only guitar player, so I can't really take, their double guitar parts that they do, which is just some of the shit's ridiculous. But
And the vocals, their drummer's a big part of their vocal presence, and I was picking up on that, and the lyrics, you had highlighted the lyrics. I was listening to that, and I loved the lines towards the end where he goes, "The pills have won," and that's some other stuff. And the last line was, "Tell my son I'm sorry."
Yeah.
yeah, that's basically like when he's dying. That's the last thing is it hits him right there. And sadly, it's almost like I've seen the scenarios. Friends and things been. Pills are evil,
We've lost people.
You can cut off my leg and I'll be like, I'll walk it off.
Yeah.
Don't give me no fucking pain pills, man, because that shit's just pure evil.
I agree.
And, I think it changes your whole, it does change your whole life, but your whole brain chemistry and stuff.
Yep.
What's particularly evil about pills is when you're a kid, you learn heroin is bad. Stay away from the needle, Junior, and cocaine is the devil's powder. But pills, why you get a prescription for that shit?
Right, exactly.
It's illegal, and man,
Doctor tells you to take it.
Yeah.
And then what they do too is they get you on them, and then they go, "Oh, you've been on these too long, so we're gonna cut you off," and then you're buying them on the street for 3 times as much, and
then
doing
you
whatever.
discover shoving a needle in your arm is cheaper.
Right.
And then you're in the circle, man. It's a sad tale that is told again and again, and it's very sad.
Yeah, and it's just it's something that I don't wish upon anybody, really. You know, I mean that kind of addiction, and it's the hardest thing to beat. So I mean, if somebody has beaten it, then that's great. And you know, I mean, it's harder probably to beat that shit than cigarettes, even though I smoke like crazy.
They say cigarettes are one of the hardest things, one of the hardest addictions to kick.
Well,
so
yeah, I'd stopped for a long time, then I got divorced and started right back up. And my ex-wife still doesn't smoke.
I smoked for 26 years, and I've been. It was a year in September.
Nice. How'd you stop?
Done with it.
Let's get back to a happier note. That song was fucking awesome.
It's the self-help hour now.
I just gave it up. I just honestly, it was. I was just really tired. I was done with it. And
right.
It was one of those moments where it was like, if you're ever gonna stop, just stop right now.
Yeah.
And this is it. It was some rough moments throughout, but man, on the other side of it, it's fucking worth it. Like, I'm so glad.
I had stopped, I don't know, probably around 97 or 98, and didn't smoke for 5-6 years, and you know, I just stopped out of the blue one night and never smoked again. But like I said, as soon as I got divorced and was just pacing around the floor, I was like, you know what, a cigarette would probably be good right now.
Yeah.
Actually, it was at a show with one of my other bands where there was nowhere to go smoke weed. Like, there's nowhere. And the bass player in the band had a Black and Mild cigar thing, and I was like, man, let me hit that a couple times. And I got so high off that thing. I mean, for like hours, just fucking floaty, and I was like, is this the way it's supposed to be? So, I mean, it was like I smoked Black and Milds for a few months and then bought cigarettes. And then it's like, God, now I smoke probably twice as much as I used to. But, back to the music.
Back to the music.
That song was amazing, and I can't wait to have that in my inventory to listen to, like while I'm like driving to work or something like that. That was awesome. That was killer.
Yeah, and see, you guys are really like the first people outside our little circle that's actually heard it. So, I mean,
there's about to be at least 4 other people.
4 other people. All right, across the globe. Just a globe on the table.
Across the zip code. Of
we actually had a pretty regular listener that pops up from Ireland. I don't know how. I mean,
hey, that's cool.
Unless maybe somebody's using one of those like servers to
like the VPNs.
Bounce around or VPN or something. But yeah, it's like pretty much every episode somebody from Ireland pops in and listens. So I always wonder, like, if they listen to the whole thing. If they do, like,
why?
Send an email, say hello.
Right?
You know?
Yeah,
we'd like to hear from you, whoever you are over there in Ireland.
It's probably our local conspiracy theorist expert,
David Bora.
Yeah, he's probably got a VPN.
So,
but wouldn't it change every time then? Would it always be from the same
that's true
place?
Because so it probably isn't David Bora.
Well, we'll ask him because David Bora is going to be here next week.
Oh, that's awesome.
David Bora requested to be on the first show post inauguration.
Holy shit! What does he know?
Because
what does he know?
As we know, David Bora is our resident conspiracy theory expert, and he's always a bit of a QAnon fan. Not that I'm promoting that sort of stuff at all, and I do intend to call him on the carpet because if everything goes off without a hitch, like I'm sure it will. What else could go wrong?
Nothing could
what
go
else
wrong.
could go wrong at this point?
Smooth like water. Yeah,
easy
like Sunday morning.
But we love David.
It's
we
fine.
love David.
So that's the point, though, is that it's either we're going to talk about oh my God, I can't believe you were right the whole time, David, or it's going to be David, what happened? So we're gonna get some answers next week. He'll be here.
Yeah, you're not gonna get any answers tonight.
No. The world is so strange. That's why I'm so glad we're just sitting here talking rock and roll.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, where do you guys record? You were talking about your engineer just being able to call him up, and be like, "I'm coming in tomorrow."
This time we recorded at Golden Tone Studios with Rob McGregor.
Okay.
Who's been
He's been doing it forever, ever.
Gainesville punk rock guy forever. And, you know, I mean, the last recording we did it down in Ocala with our buddy Ray Helton from Recycle to the Soil. And
remember those guys?
Yeah, and I mean, it was a cool environment, and I mean, he's good at what he does, but just driving to Ocala and, you know, trying to set up and record and then coming home, and, you know, we could only do it on the weekends, and it, you know, sometimes there'd be parties going on and you don't get much done, and so we really wanted to stay home because we were doing so much stuff too. I mean, there's 14 songs on the album, but and, you know, we will say that price had a lot to do with it. He's pretty reasonable. So, I mean, you know, and it's cool. He's got an old house that's basically just the studio, you know.
That's awesome.
A porch that we can go smoke out on. And, you know, he's pretty laid back. And, I mean, we started it, hate to say it, but like September of 19.
Yeah.
And now we're into 21 and we still haven't finished it. But I mean, you know, it's a lot of money and we don't have anybody else helping us. And, you know, we went for a weekend doing the drums and then another weekend for doing guitars, and vocals took a lot of time going in. You know, we'd go in during the week and do vocals because I couldn't sing for 8 hours, or scream, I should say. And,
Sure.
How the fuck do you do that? Honestly,
I have zero technique.
As a singer to singer, like, I can't fucking do that. I don't get it.
I learned how to do those kind of vocals by getting mad at my ex-wife.
Oh, makes sense.
And I was
That
fucking
works.
yelling. I was like, "What?" And I'm like, "Remember that? You know, how did you just do that?" And then fucking, it's been on ever since. But I mean, I've never really been the lead singer in a band. I mean, I have been, but, you know, as far as writing lyrics and figuring out how to sing them and all that kind of stuff, this is the first time I've ever really done it. And so it's all, you know, like we were just talking the other night, it's like I don't have the kind of voice that like can like be like a storytelling voice. You know, there's certain singers that can change their sound or their intensity or whatever, and I can't do it. I mean, I can sing a little bit. I have a very limited range of actual singing, but I mean, I can scream okay, but you know, I mean, it's still all new, and I have zero technique. Like doing the Ozzy song, I couldn't talk the next day.
Yeah.
I mean, because I did like 3 or 4 takes of it, and by the end of it, I was, you know, the next day I couldn't talk above a whisper. I mean, I fucked some shit up probably.
So how's that gonna go though? You doing like 45-minute set or some shit?
I mean, well, thankfully Gray sings a few songs, and we try to space them out to where, you know, we usually try to do one instrumental, like either, you know, a new song or something, or just a jam or something to give me time to breathe. And,
We used to do that.
you know,
We had a song that Joe would sing. It was called Guitar Joe, which we should dig up a
That would
copy
make
of that
sense.
gem.
We should not.
We should dig that one up. Maybe next week we'll play that for David Bora.
But yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, especially like we've done 2 sets.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we still have actually, I don't think we've ever played a show where we've played all our songs.
Yeah.
But doing 2 sets is brutal, you know. I mean, for the singing part, I can play all night, but yeah, there's some songs where I'm like, oh, if we do that at the end, I won't have anything left in the tank.
I'm not gonna lie. I was always a bitch about it.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah,
45 minutes, an hour. No, let's not do more than that. No, Joe, we're not gonna do 4 sets.
But they're paying us double. Get on stage now.
We're gonna make $350.
Oh, we did. We got paid like $700
Wow.
at the Bears Den.
Oh, man.
in Trenton. Was it?
No,
Trenton?
it was out in Cleveland, dude. These guys in the woods didn't know what they were doing.
$700.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We did.
They
We did
paid.
4
They paid us.
hours. Friday night and Saturday.
Oh, for 2 nights,
Yeah,
700
for 2 nights.
Oh, okay.
And that was a huge payday for us. I
Yeah.
mean, we were just poor fucking kids.
We're like P. Diddy.
It's like the Hangar 7. The Hangar 7 was
Hangar
always
7.
the
Hangar
payday.
7.
It's like, you know, one night would be decent. There'd be 30, 40 people there. The next night you'd be playing for the 3 regulars at the bar, but you still got paid, you know. I mean,
Still got paid.
it's like, hey, we need to make some money for some merch. Let's
You-
go play the Hangar, I guess.
You ever heard of a place called the Knotwater Tavern? Does that ring a bell?
No.
And it probably shouldn't.
I don't think that's not around anymore. It hasn't been
Probably
around
shouldn't.
forever. It was up in Live Oak. They paid good though.
Huh.
They paid good. Hey, so I see you guys are playing at the Brass Mug. You got a big show coming up there. We
Yeah, next Friday.
So tell us like what is that like?
I mean, it's with our friends Three Knuckles Deep. Basically, yeah. I don't know what it means exactly.
I think I might.
I got a pretty good idea.
But yeah, I mean, they're cool dudes, and they seem to get us on some decent shows. And we filled in for them one time at a show, and I mean, the Brass Mug is a legendary place, and
Sure
it's
is.
We played the Brass Mug.
Yeah.
We played the Brass Mug once. That was where our drummer, Clay, before we left, we said, "Hey man, you should swap out that drum head, the bass drum head." Oh man, it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
famous last words.
We got there.
It was not
it was fine, wasn't it?
It was not fine. Surprise, surprise. But I remember their sound guy.
Well,
like,
yeah, because 3 songs in, he kicks through it,
And so it's like,
and we played Yellow Ledbetter, and the sound man ran up.
next we're like, what are we gonna do? Well, let's play Yellow Ledbetter. And the sound guy, like, he came in like with a cape, and he knew exactly
Rappelled
what
down
to do.
from the rafters like
He
fucking
saved this
Batman.
shit.
He saved the day.
He somehow taped it up, but
Nice.
And needless to say, that drummer did not last. I was fucking out of there.
Yeah, they're in there.
Clay.
They've been at this place. I mean, it's like their 3rd location or whatever, but the original location that they were in forever, it's like that was the first place we saw Opeth back in 2001, I think. And, we played there in front of, I mean, we even bought like pitchers of beer and advertised free beer, and we'd play there, and there'd be 3 people there,
man.
or we'd get on a bill with 10 bands, and it was like, oh, the out of town band, play it first, 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Oh
But
God, I remember racing to a place in Tallahassee at like 4:30 or some shit for Crunk Fest.
that sounds
We were
like
like
a
the
winning
f-
fest.
oh,
Everybody
man.
learns. Everybody's been there.
God.
Oh
You'll
yeah,
learn.
we
You'll
got
learn.
some silly show stories.
Oh,
Hell, we opened for Testament and stuff like that, where we played at 1:30 in the afternoon, and they played at 1:30 in the morning. But hey, we opened for
we
Testament.
opened for yeah.
I mean,
We actually outsold Kip Winger.
wow.
We were playing in a bar in Fort Myers, and Kip Winger was down the street at a bar, and his was empty and ours was packed.
No way.
So I mean,
Wow.
I'm just saying, we all have our shining moments.
Exactly.
I wonder how he felt about that.
I don't know.
Does Kip Winger ever just look in the mirror and go, "Fuck, I'm Kip Winger. God damn it."
That was a good time.
Yeah,
He's a ballerina. I'm not kidding.
I've heard that about
He
him.
does ballerina dancing for real. All the twist and all that. I'm not lying.
What kind of YouTube videos you watching these days, bro?
Behind the scenes.
I actually wake up in the morning and I dress up as a ballerina
I believe
and pretend that I am Kip Winger.
Joe, what are you drinking over there tonight, man?
All right, so this is something your buddy John,
Wow.
he turned me on to this. This is from Golden Road out in California. It's called Mango Cart. It's like a
Oh,
wheat
the mango
beer.
stuff, yeah.
It's
A weed beer?
wheat.
Oh, I
Come on
was
now.
gonna say you got my attention.
Wheat.
A wheat. Stewie from Family Guy.
Wheat.
But this is cool. It goes down easy. I just changing it up tonight. That's all.
Nice. Have you guys tried the peanut butter whiskey?
No, my son actually had some of that the other night.
Would you like some?
No. If you want me to remain coherent, I probably shouldn't. If Yvette was here, she'd probably like a taste. But yeah, my son had a bottle of that, and I was like, it just smells so bizarre to me because I eat peanut butter a lot. That's like
I recommend it.
my main food source. But
You'll love it then.
yeah, that's the problem. No, I do pretty
Man,
good.
I'm
with-
hungry. Give me a spoon and a jar of peanut butter.
Right. Peanut butter and crackers, man. That's the best fucking meal before band practice.
False.
What kind of crackers?
Just like a Ritz cracker.
Like Salter or Ritz?
Yeah.
What you gotta do next time you're in Publix? Get you one of them big pepperoni sticks. Just cut off the end of that and just sit there and shout.
Yeah, but this guy makes it awkward sitting there looking at you with a
Right.
pepperoni stick.
And and
You know?
doing the faces and the licking his fingers and shit. It's scary.
And then putting it in door number
Actually,
2.
we do we do buy the sliced pepperoni, and that's another like
Slice.
quick snack, just or to add on to the frozen pizza because they put like 4 pepperonis on your damn Tombstone pizza, and I'll load it up. Get double pepperoni.
You gotta go with the Totinos, man.
That used to be the one, but
they're like $1.50.
Yeah.
They're
Tombstones are kind
horrible.
of expensive.
Jesus Christ! I mean, they really are. They're fucking terrible. But you know what? They work at
Right.
2 in the morning
If they fill the void.
after a few of these peanut butter whiskeys.
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
That's actually what I had for lunch today.
Peanut butter whiskey.
Or Totino's.
Well, the Totinos first.
oh.
I didn't have the peanut butter whiskey until I got over here.
Oh, so have we determined who's the bigger Randy Rhoads fan?
Well, Nick, I'd like to jump in right here and tell you that being a fan of a musician is not a sporting event or a contest.
No, I'm just saying. We got.
But since I'm older, it's probably me.
God damn it! All right. Well, I want to ask you both a question about
Yeah, let's do that.
about
then.
it was a who is considered.
Wait, who are you asking this
hang on.
question?
I'm asking it to both. What event is credited with the turning point for Randy Rhoads to become who he was destined to be?
So I know.
Wow, an
if you want to
event?
go first,
A specific event.
There was
because I
that-
got it.
There's an event.
I'll let you have it because I couldn't say what it is.
It went to an Alice Cooper concert. Fell in love.
Oh, like okay, I see what you're saying.
You read the Wikipedia page today, didn't you?
Read it. I update that shit.
It was Glenn Buxton or
Yeah,
whatever.
baby. That's it. You got it.
Joe is the one that actually wrote that.
I believe it.
Wikipedia.
I believe it.
So, yeah, he liked Alice Cooper a lot. He liked Leslie West.
Leslie
from
West, rest in peace.
Yeah, yep. He just passed away, yep.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I ask is because we've got that. Hang on, hold on.
Where you going, Nick? Nick has abandoned his station.
So now, what do you guys want? Gray, what do you want to talk about? We haven't heard a whole lot from
Puppy
you.
dogs.
I like puppy dogs.
Puppy dogs.
We've got.
Oh, Nick is making.
Oh, here we go.
That's right.
I'm so thankful.
Nice.
Whoa.
Is this Carol's?
That is it.
That is
This
That
is
is it.
Carol's
Oh, no
out of
way.
the warehouse. Yeah.
No way.
That is yours as the
Heck yeah.
as the
We will hang it up in his honor.
informal Randy Rhoads biggest fan challenge. That's your
Wow.
Yeah, that
award there.
So we
Very
moved
cool.
into that warehouse, and that purple bat was hanging on the wall, and we knew it was
Wait, Joe. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but the people that are listening do not actually know what the fuck we're talking about.
well, you know what? We should take a picture of it and post it on YouTube.
And I was going to
Yes.
get that
Or
until I was interrupted.
Instagram.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry, and that's why I apologized before I said what I was saying.
So this warehouse, right, with Carol who passed away, we moved in there. That bat was on the wall. It's a purple bat. It's a purple bat. And we said to ourselves, you know what? We're gonna keep that up there because of him, right? And when we left, we were like, some motherfucker's gonna come in here and store furniture. We're gonna take the bat with us because I don't know why. It just felt special, like
Right.
this guy,
Yeah.
right? So we took it, and then when we found out that y'all had the warehouse, we're like, oh, yes,
That's got to go home.
Gotta go
Right.
home. So
Yep.
bring the bat home, fellas.
Hell yeah,
There
for
it is.
sure.
Home.
There it is.
Thank you,
Yeah, it was-
Taylor, for taking care of that for us.
I think he might have committed breaking and entering to get that, but that's all right. Nobody's gonna know.
That is so cool. You got to take a
Nobody's gonna
picture.
know.
That's got to go on the
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. Well, guys,
With the Death Star, so you see how big it is. I mean, that's the Death Star right there, and that's the fucking bat.
I definitely need a picture of that. We got to do that.
That's cool.
Well, gentlemen, we have any parting words of wisdom for the good people of Porchville, the three of them?
Listen to Nibiru.
Where can they find you guys at?
Well, I mean, we're on the Facebook for Nibiru Gainesville because there, like I said, there's like a Russian Nibiru, or you'll get to some conspiracy page, but and then once the album's done, we'll do the whole Spotify and all that kind of crap. But right now, it's not worth it. Even though we did do a 3-song CD, but a couple of years ago, which also took us about a year to finish, but never posted it up or anything. So yeah, right now Nibiru Gainesville on Facebook, and
well, I know Matt's gonna get over and be eagerly awaiting the album.
Well, here I'll give him this CD that I brought.
Oh man, look at that!
I brought
Matt.
a gift too.
Are you kidding me?
This just
Look at
has
that,
the 4 songs that I brought tonight, so it's not the full album.
That's
but,
No fucking way. This
but there
is
you go. It's
awesome,
4
dude.
songs.
Awesome.
The only ones we have actually the SATO isn't even mixed yet. That was just like the raw mix. But the other 3 are more or less finished. So
Hell yeah.
there you go.
Dude, that is awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you guys for coming out tonight. Joe,
yeah.
you got any parting words of?
Be good to each other. I don't know what's going to happen on this week, and
But David Bohr is going to be here to talk about it next week.
it's going to be wild. But we're all on this rock together, so
Just love each other, be good to each other, and
Can't we all just get along?
Everybody love everybody.
everybody love everybody. That's a good idea.
But not right now, just because there's 5 dudes here. And,
Nah, yeah. President Company excluded.
zip.
Oh, God damn it! Hit play. I'm trying, guys. There we go.
That's
There it
it.
is.
I'm fucking up here. I'm not with it. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of the Porchville Podcast. PorchvillePod.com, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can either send us an email, porchmail@porchvillepod.com. Let us know how we're doing. Make sure to share and subscribe. We will see you next week. Take care of yourselves and your mental health. We love you. Bye-bye.
No. It said the same price as we were paying for our little